My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
I'll take over, Chris. You got a lot to do. I understand. Instead, welcome to Omni X-Men, folks. Yeah, this is the show weekly when we're not, running around being busy with life. Where Justin from No Good Comics and we get together. We dive into our sorry, I don't exercise enough. Omnibus from Uncanny X-Men, the Claremont-era. We're on season 3, volume 3, and that means Justin's backstage crying because I got my Miss Marvels done before him. That's what he said about
You did. Yes, you did. I did try. I did try to Sunday. I was like, I'm going to close out strong. I did buy a bigger book of that series, but I didn't get all of them. I'm missing.
You did.
Still, so.
Admittedly, yeah. I had a head start on you, and I was at a convention and just decided to go ham on that.
A massive one too.
I went stupid. on that. Good to see you, sir. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, likewise, man. I feel like I followed your whole journey though, because everything you were posting over the weekend looked like a blast, man. I'm really bummed that I didn't go this year, but I'm glad you went. Glad you had a good time seeing everybody that you were hanging out with. I was so jealous. Congrats on the Avengers one. I don't want to go too sidetracked here, but amazing, dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the community.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so killer. So killer. I saw the film footage of you receiving.
So you learned some new 4-letter words.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I didn't know John let loose like that.
No, it was a great con. Great. I was talking before we went live with our guest. I don't do a ton of big cons. I try to just do one a year, and I don't ever really fly to conventions. This is only the second time I've ever done that. Right. So I tried to maximize it. A ton of great people in that Florida region I hadn't seen before, or that came to that con. So, but my next goal is to get somewhere in that New England area. That's where I'm aiming. Although I know New Jersey is not. I learned not considered part of New England, so I can't throw that around.
The tri-state area.
That's my goal. That's my goal.
Nice.
Let's bring in our guest. By the way, if you like this show, I can't blame you for that, but Justin's the channel you got to subscribe to, and his stuff is down below because every other week we bounce back and forth, and we'll be over there for 170 next week. Just got to be ready for that. But let's bring in our guest. This guy, super friendly and super nice about the fact that we've rescheduled this episode many times. JR Rogueslaw, what is going on, man?
What's up, folks? How you guys doing? Long time no see.
We kept pushing this show back. Every time I messaged you, it was like, nope, we're backing this up again.
To be honest, there's ulterior motives why it was actually good for me. Not to go into details, but I was in the hospital for a week. Ooh. I'm good, healthy, fine.
All right,
we're good. We're gonna leave it there.
Okay,
but I need the extra week.
Oh, nice. Well, then I'm glad that worked out well for you timing wise. And I appreciate your absolute patience with us as well. Cause I know it's like you book it in the summer and then it's like 6 months go by and you're like, when is this? Am I doing this show?
Yeah.
Is
when you're dealing with Justin, I mean, you got to remember it's one of those things where you have to wait for his ego to come down a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it's just like the reason why New Jersey's not part of like the New England thing is it's Justin.
They want to keep the distance from him.
They want to keep that distance.
Yeah, I respect this.
They're like, we'll let you have Baltimore and Maryland, or I should say Maryland, all that.
Yeah. You know that Florida got upset with us and it was like, you can't have Justin and you guys all in the same state. We really need to make sure Justin doesn't go.
Couldn't
keep him away.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Let's jump into the chat and say hello to some friends. While I'm doing that, though, friends, the IG account for JR, it's in the description below. You can jump over there and subscribe and say hello to JR on his Instagram.
Heck yeah.
First in the chat, just that freaking Rican that I got to hang out with in Baltimore. Or not Baltimore, Orlando, one of these places. I don't know. I'm still jet lagged. What's happening? We got Magic Lasso saying, hello, everybody. Hello to Diana Ross and Rachel Dinners. He says, why is Warren Worthington's locks? It should be an R. Come on, buddy. Why are his locks like pasta? It's angel hair. It was. And very apt for this evening as well. What is going on, John Ross? Good to see you. He
wrong
was
show.
Yeah, it is the wrong show. And I triggered Michael a ton. I was basically trolling Michael in that chat. Hashtag Blue Tape Mafia is right.
The tape.
It was an all tape discussion over there. I don't have my blue tape with me, but yeah, Blue Tape Mafia for life. Candace is in the chat. What is going on? If you missed our last episode, you missed Candace. So get over and make sure you catch the rewind on Justin's channel for that.
Yep.
Jackson, Roy, Kirk, what's going on? Good to see you.
Roy Kirk.
JP says John actually is still hanging out with us now that he has an Avengers 1. I expected him to go big time on us. I don't know. It depends on how late this show goes. We may never make it to your channel because the truth is Justin and I are over there later. And we're supposed to be talking about Philadelphia on JP's channel. If you've never read it and are curious about it, we're going to do that first volume, that first storyline over on JP's channel later.
So good. So good.
We got Bronze Page. What is going on, my man? He's here, gang. Be ready. Tricky Trapster. What is going on with you? Good to see you, sir. Jackson Kirk says, Avengers 1.0. Does this show now have a cover charge? Feel free to drop those subscription fees in the chat. Those donations can be paid right there to YouTube. I'm trying to give John a chance to show off that Avengers, but he didn't need me to. There you go. I don't need it. All right. So, tonight we are talking about Uncanny X-Men issue 169. And like Ryan mentioned in the chat, it's going to be some Angel talk going on in here. But what we've been doing this season is getting to know our guests a little bit. So what we're going to do is ask a couple of simple questions about JR and his feelings about the X-Men, his feelings about mutants, and his opinion on some of these characters. So Justin, do you have a starter question for our man here?
Yeah. So JR, first question I'll start with is, and I asked this a while ago when you were on my show, now probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. If you could have one mutant ability or replicate a mutant ability that we know and love of another mutant that's out there, what ability or abilities would you want to have?
Well, I don't remember what I said that long ago because I'm old. Don't remember stuff.
Could be different.
After the hospital stay, I kind of think maybe a healing factor would be nice.
Good pick. Nobody's mentioned that. Good pick.
I think that would probably be where I'd go because that'd just be nice to heal from anything.
Not have to worry about any. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that's a great.
And then I'd be able to stay around for a long time and really annoy some people, which would be fun.
JR is a pro at that. So.
That's so good.
And I might get rid of my snoring.
What's up, Chet? And everybody's Does that mean you have to smoke cigars and grow fun hair, or no? Is that part of it?
I might drink more vodka.
There you go. He's more Canadian whiskey, I would assume, but you never know. Oh, beer. He's a lot of beer. That will.
Well, I am German, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. As am I.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask, who are your favorite? If you had to pick only 3 X-Men artists, your it's not Mount Rushmore because that would be 4. You're one less Mount Rushmore of X-Men artists.
Sylvester would be my number 1.
Nice.
Just because of the Wolverine cover of, I think it's 151.
When he's on the X. Yeah. He's been crucified. Yeah.
To me, that's my number 1 probably. Byrne, because just what he did. I mean, that stuff is amazing. And probably Lee. I mean, Jim Lee's stuff was just phenomenal. As little as he was on the book and all actuality.
But 90s fans, it's like Silvestri and Jim Lee are kind of it. They're kind of the jam.
Well, I mean, my first book that I collected was X-Men 11, I think it was.
Okay.
Which was towards, I think Lee
like almost left at the end of his run, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was during that horrible Executioner song. I mean, like one of the worst ones I'll never redo. But that's what sparked it all, so.
There you go.
Nice.
Hello to Glitter and Duct Tape. What is going on? Good to see you.
Hey.
Justin, one more question for the man here.
So a little bit of a change up here. If you could just pick one comic book issue for X-Men or X-Men related comic book, what's like your favorite? Like just whether it's because of the story, because of the artwork, for whatever reason it might be, whether it's in your collection or not. Like what is like that one book to you that's just like for any, like for you specifically?
I mean, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and I'm gonna go with the more like Massacre.
Yes.
I just that whole run, just how dark it was. And,
I never read it.
And just to see, well, you're going to get there eventually. I mean,
5, we'll get there. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
But that stuff's just so good. Just you never had anything. I remember because I kind of worked my way backwards on the run, collecting the run, and I remember reading like before that, hearing about it, and it doesn't do it justice until you get to it and you read it, and you're just like, oh wow, they murdered some people.
And it wasn't like 5 or 6 Wolverine Sabretooth fight sequences too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I don't know the like like the specifics of it, but I know that it was one of the very early like crossover events where you had it across. You're getting Daredevil, you're getting Thor, you're getting all these other like books, not just mutant books, but like it's spread across a chunk of Marvel.
Yeah, because they had, if I remember correctly, they had like a little thing on the top of the book up here. That said like Mutant Massacre.
Yeah,
I mean, it's actually over here, I think, and it would be like Vulture showing up in a Daredevil book.
Yeah,
and like
Pack.
Yeah, but it made no sense like on a lot of these like crossovers. It was just like, let's just have these villains fight people that aren't their normal people, and it's a massacre. Okay.
What is up, Funk Comics 814? How's it going?
Funk. Nice.
Great questions, JR. Yeah. Great answer. Sorry.
Thank you.
And we will eventually get to that storyline, and it is one of my favorite books because that was early on when I started reading. So we will definitely get to the Massacre storyline, and obviously tonight's issue ties in very nicely with that.
Can I say one thing? I'm claiming some of those spots before Chet takes them all.
Yeah,
fair.
I know you, Chet, you bastard. I love you, but
we'll hold some down for you, JR.
Most definitely. What is up, Albert, in the chat? Good to see you, sir. Hope your night's going well. All right, so as a reminder, we also have giveaway options at the end of the show. So if you stick around to the end, we'll ask some trivia about the show we did over on Justin's channel 2 weeks ago, and our guest Candace was there for that. So she's going to have an advantage. You got to be able to answer first in the chat. So stick around. We will answer and give out some options to get on our giveaway list. So don't go anywhere.
Shout out to our artist, our featured artist, Tim Stacy, as well. He's doing our actually. I know Tim Stacy from your show with the Team Nerd Herd, JR.
My old show,
and that's how I had initially met him. So that
and his link is down below. His Instagram link is down below if people want to check it out.
Yeah, he's going to be doing our sketch this year or for this season. So
nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's going to do you as Arcade.
What's that? draw me as Arcade.
Yeah.
I'd be down. I'd be totally down for that.
Worth it.
Definitely would be.
All right, so let's jump into issue 169. Or JP's going to get mad at us. We got this cover, this Angel classic cover. Justin, when you saw this, what are your feelings about the art, about what this relates to the book? What do you think here?
I feel like I don't love the cover. I think a lot of it just has to do with the poll. It's just like it's a bit distracting compared to everything else. I don't know. It doesn't stand out to me, or at least it never did. Like I would always like be flipping through X-Men and I would kind of notice this but like barely, like not, it would never really get my attention. I would just glance over it. And I think a lot of it has to do with that poll. Now that I've like focused more on it and obviously read it, multiple times, and I get the gist because it's my first time reading this issue. I think it's very accurate to the cover or to the story.
We're waiting for the rat to show up and he never shows up.
That's true.
That's not important. Clearly. Front billing there.
But yeah, like even at like quick glances, I just feel like I wouldn't even notice like what it is, like what's happening. Like it's just such a darker cover and you don't see much. I know that he's there, his wings stand out, that's about it, but even that's covered. So I don't know, it's definitely weaker for me overall, but I will say it is accurate to what we get in the book, so that's always a plus. So.
Right. JR, any thoughts on this cover when you first saw it, or maybe when you saw it again this time?
It's funny, when I was a kid I loved this cover because it was just like, wow, this compared to what we saw at the time, we didn't have anything like this, and I was like And I've always loved Angel. I thought he was always one of those underused characters.
Okay, that's the end of the show, folks. We got to go. Goodbye. Because we're gonna take some shots. I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm not a good kid for that one. But I always loved Angel. I thought he was a great character, and the Angel I knew was Archangel, so I never really got to until I came back and started going back and collecting and seeing the original Angel.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, I look back at it, I like it. But as a reader, I go, you just took the punch out of the issue.
Good point. I haven't thought about that. I thought about that.
The ending should be seeing him stabbed against the wall and being like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
But now it's like, we know what's going to happen. It's like, okay, let's just get to the point. It feels like you're following a story that you already know the answer to.
Great point.
Yeah.
Love that. I didn't even think about that. That's great. Yeah, for me, not a big fan. I think the perspective is really screwy here. So like even Angel seems like strangely elongated. Like I just think the angle is off. And then the giant rat is just like right in our face. Yeah, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Accurate to the story for sure, but not a big fan here. And it seems like the chat is saying some of the same kind of things. JP, however, is saying, no Cyclops, no Xavier. This could be the best issue ever. It's high on his list for good stuff. Brian says he has memories of this as a childhood collector. He stopped buying X-Men after 159. This was the issue that brought him back. It felt like a while since I had seen Angel in any comic at this point. There you go. Chet says, as a kid, I hated most covers after 143 up until about 240. He took a year. He took 100 issues off. Just took a good 8 years off comic reading.
So does that mean he's taking season 4 and 5 off?
I would be.
Everybody's gonna get a shot now.
A chance.
Everybody, give everybody else a shot.
I would be curious what the few that he didn't hate were overall
in that 100 issue period. I mean, a lot of them. I mean, I love a ton in there, but I love a lot of those were the early ones I was reading. All right, let's dive in here. We start off with a kind of horror story. Lovely Candy Southern, one of the best named characters in the X universe, coming home in her penthouse looking for boyfriend Warren, sees Angel's wings on the floor. She's like, "Oh, are you molting again?" Which apparently is a thing. Didn't realize it was a thing that Angel would go through, but she was very casual about it. Then she's like, "Oh, and blood? That's kind of weird." She's looking around. She's like, "This is probably bad news." She runs over, gets the phone, quickly dials Professor X, who's laying in bed. Sorry, JP. Yes, Xavier's in this. She's like, "I need help. Something's going on." And all of a sudden, Sunder arrives. This big beast. We only see his arms. He says, "I'm here to hurt you." She screams, "No!" What do you think of this, Justin? This is quite an intro.
Yeah, I loved this intro. Definitely changed it up completely from what we're used to. Well, one being that the splash page wasn't like the immediate thing, which I usually look forward to. That's like, the main thing. But I think with the way they told this story, I was appreciative of it. And really fit the horror vibes that I like in general. Right. Also, I think this might be Candy's first appearance where she has clothes on. I feel like she's always in a bathing suit of some sort.
Thumbs down.
Hanging out with Angel, so that's by the poolside. So but yeah, so I like how this started out, real doom and gloom, and then you get the splash page, right. Very creepy looking arm there for sure, and I like the shadows and everything, in her like on her, which look cool. So
for sure. JR, I will say, like, it's been a long time since I read this. I forgot a lot of the details. Had you read this recently?
I just read it today. And I haven't probably read it for 15 years prior.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. There are parts of this I totally forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I completely forgot this beginning thing. The one thing I'm trying to remember was Xavier at the "I won't probe into people's minds" thing at this point, because you'd think she would just scream Xavier, right, and he would know her voice.
Maybe
he's claimed that he's not doing it.
He's on a better path
because I know he goes back and forth.
Absolutely.
It's kind of when he wants it, when he. Depends on how the writer's writing that month.
Yeah, that's a great attitude about it. I didn't say hello to Brian. What's up, Brian? LCS in the chat. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, sir.
But I do love I completely forgot what the phone has all the different names on. Like,
oh yeah,
I took a picture. It's like McCoy, Seagal, which I don't know who that is. Rainwire, Wait, Virgo, McIntyre.
Yeah,
so these are probably like people in the offices at Marvel at the time.
Possibly. Maybe. I mean, obviously the second one's Hank McCoy.
Right. Yeah.
And Wyatt, or Waite, is a character too. I vaguely remember.
Next time I meet Claremont, that's what I'm going to ask.
Tell me all about these people.
Yeah.
No asking about the sandwich.
What's the true story behind this? Yeah.
For me, I love the like horror vibes here at the beginning. It definitely felt like a slasher movie, and I got some of those Friday the 13th kind of vibes going from this.
Yep.
All right, well, let's jump to it's date night, and it's time to get in the hot tub. And this is officially the third time we've seen Miss Amanda Sefton, I think, right?
Yep,
on a date here with Kurt Nightcrawler, but Kurt's definitely rounding third base and going home here. Nobody's dressed. Nobody's got clothes. They're in the hot tub. He's talking about taking their relationship to another level. there's some saucy bits here just in time for my man Jeff, the Cantonese comic kid. Big Vampirella fan, so saucy bits is what he's here for. Nice. So you arrived just in time to see their date about to get too serious, and then nope, mind rushing here. The ultimate block is Xavier. I need help. You need to get over there. Get over to the apartment. Check in on one. And Nightcrawler doesn't even hesitate. Bamps right out of there, butt naked, bamfing across town, and landing in the apartment just in time to see the monster carrying away Angel. And when he does, somehow we see Candy flying out the window, smashing and falling to her death. Nightcrawler's like, it's cold right now in New York. I'm cold. I'm naked. I'm wet. I'm gonna rescue this girl. Scoops her up, and I got to get some more warm. And instantly teleport. What's that?
And you got glasses flying at your bits.
Yeah, glass bits, all kinds of things. He teleports her right back to the hot tub, and Candy is and Amanda's like, "Don't you dare!" And then splash. Now the hot tub just got a lot hotter. Now there's two ladies and Nightcrawler in the hot tub. I had to include if I know I'm old. If you don't know Eddie Murphy's James Brown singing "Hot Tub" on Saturday Night Live, missing out. I'm just saying you're missing out. It's a great scene. JR, were you like, okay? I thought Nightcrawler was the religious one, but he's getting some freak on here.
Yeah, I mean this guy goes from first base to third base like that. I mean,
right?
It's crazy. I mean, I do love the fact she's like, don't do it, and he just drops her and bamps off. He's like, deal with it.
Yeah, I'm a superhero, baby. This is my life, superhero life.
I mean, he should get some points though for that. Like he's like, hey, this is not for me. This is for you. Drops her off.
Justin, what cracked me up about this is he's like, I want to take this relationship to another level. I'm really serious about you. And if you picture it from her perspective, he says this. She's like, well, I don't know. He disappears, and then he reappears with another lady and jumps right into the hot tub with her. And you're like, wait, is this what you meant by another
next level?
Is this the next level? I didn't think threesome was the next step.
Yeah.
You may be overgoing the bound. I know Amanda seems down to clown, but this might be a little much. I don't know how you feel for Amanda, Justin. Can you put yourself in her position for a bit?
Yeah, no, you make a great point. No, I do like that it's him that's asking her, like, hey, when are you gonna kind of settle down and not go too crazy? And she's like, oh, me, like, what about you? And then this whole thing goes down. So that's ironic. I will say this whole sequence, I loved the artwork. Like, I love just the motion of everything of where it all went. And I always say this, like I read it the first time through digitally, seeing anytime that you get to see Kurt Banff from space, place to place, the way they do it, it just looks so cool. And then on top of that, the part where you see Angel in the shadow,
down the corner over.
There,
so subway.
So if you're, doing the panel to panel feature from there and you swipe to the next one, you just get this clash, scene of Candy coming out the window. It looked really cool. And then followed by him bringing her back into the hot tub. Like, I just love the overall reaction and the body turning and everything. Like, it all looks so much more in motion when I was, again, that's for me the benefits of reading it that way. But totally. So I just loved it.
It engages the suspense a little more when you do it that way, for sure.
Totally. And I think the art, throughout this whole thing was really, really good. So I love this sequence. So this one stood out to me.
The chat is hilarious here. Candace is saying, I still have no clue who this woman is. I get it, because she's had 3 dates with Nightcrawler, basically spread across like 60 issues of the book. Their first date, I think, was back in like issue 112 or 15 or something like this.
Right.
It's that one that Justin actually posted recently a picture of where they're at Christmas time and they're down and they're walking together in downtown New York.
98.
So that's from there to now, we've only seen her like a handful of times. And that story with Arcade.
That's what I'm thinking of, where she's in the present, her head's
slang, and they get kidnapped. Yeah. And Xavier blocking Kurt, agree. It's a non-nude scene for Storm, so this is a chance he gets one, right? Equal opportunity nudity. Not getting any tail. I see this. I get it. Funny. Get the hot tub. Let's see here. Anybody else here? Thank you, Brian, for reminding people. Yeah, hit the like button. Go ahead. Let us know. And don't forget Annual 4. So is this maybe this is their fourth date? Maybe this is their fourth
Doctor
date.
Strange. That was with because that's where we learned more about Kurt. That's
right.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed that after all these horrible dates with Nightcrawler, she's still in the hot tub with him. She is ready, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be impressed by that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I will say one thing I appreciate is looking at the BAMF from then, compared to nowadays, how it's evolved.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just look at how simplistic. I mean, it's still complex, but fairly simplistic compared to nowadays. Right. It's kind of cool to see that.
For sure. So then we're gonna jump over to the Hellfire Club. Some exciting things happening in the world of Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw. Shaw marches into the Hellfire Club. He's been summoned. He heads back downstairs to talk to Tessa, who has discovered Emma Frost late at night, storming in and yet sort of passing out, not necessarily being able to utilize her abilities. And they're all kind of left wondering what happened to her. Even Shaw is like, the only person I think who could do this would be somebody like Xavier, because she's such a powerful telepathic mutant, and so is Xavier. I don't know quite what's going on. Let's just leave here on this lab and go somewhere else. So Justin, kind of an odd little jump off back. We haven't seen the Hellfire Club in a little bit.
It's been a while. Yeah, no, for sure. This scene here, while it is very random in terms of just the placement of it, I do like that Claremont continues to do this, and we've seen this even through the Dark Phoenix saga and everything else, like just these random scenes or moments of another party that's doing something completely different. And I think that's what makes the X-Men and the X-Men series what it is in terms of connecting so many different pieces. Obviously there's a lot of characters, so it's nice to like check in once in a while on some of these other mutants who were relevant, and had bigger story arcs than others, at certain times. So it is, we gotta at some point ask the question, like, what is Shaw up to? So it's cool that they dropped that in here. Like I said, yes, it does feel a little random, but I know Claremont's planning something else.
He's gonna build
down the road. Right? Yeah, I will say I was expecting a little more with this. As I read through the whole issue, I was like, wait a second, what happened?
That was it.
Emma?
Just the 2 pages.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So it's something where you got to like almost take note and remember for 1 to 3 issues later. Is
like knowing who Amanda Sefton is, Candace. Now you get this is another thing. Just another thing.
Exactly.
What's up, William Bird in the chat? He's been dating Crystal in Christar #4. I do not have that book. No. Bobby DeLeghetto in the chat. What's going on,
Bobby?
We got Chaos and Comics making a noise. All right, good to see you. So JR, this little bit here, I know it's like of the Bronze Age era. It's very much in keeping with that era. Did this bore you when you were reading it this time?
It did bore me a little bit because I was just going like, I mean, and I love the Hellfire Club, but it was just like, okay, I read it, and then I was kind of skimming through the book, and there's no more of it, and I'm just like, really? And it makes me laugh because I watched a documentary about Claremont the other night, and it was him and Luis Simonson and someone else, his old editors, talking about him having these dangling threads for 50, 60 issues, and here I'm complaining about one issue of a dangling thread that probably gets resolved in the next 2 or 3 issues. But I'm
not making promises, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it's just one of those things like, okay, this makes no sense because we already know it's not Xavier.
Move it along.
Yeah.
What is up, Kevin from Entropy and Comics? Good to see you.
I will say Shaw's forehead looks huge.
It is. It's quite impressive.
Like I could play badminton or table ping pong off it.
My thing's always been like the ridiculousness of the Hellfire costumes. Like he just walked through New York that way. Like if you saw somebody clowning around in New York that way, you'd be like, who is this guy? He just walked there. It's not like he arrived and then changed into this because it's the culture of the club.
Nope.
Like and then she's answering the door in her thing, and you're like, okay, but this is just how they wear their outfits now. This is their thing.
But to be fair, like the teenage me that read this, went, man, this guy's a pimp. He's got beautiful women walking around outfits like that. I know now as an adult male, don't hit me, ladies. I know that's not right. They shouldn't be wearing those outfits. But still, the kid version of me is going, damn, that guy's a player.
But see, like the dad adult me is like, this is the people that tried to convince Kitty Pryde to go to their school. She's like, we're gonna, hey, 12-year-old girl, come to our school. We wear lingerie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got comments about her costume coming up too.
Good, because we're gonna get into that. I said Culture Club. Did I? Maybe I did. All right, moving on. We are back in the mansion. Everybody's warming up. They're getting some hot cocoa. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They're feeling like, no, we've got to figure out. Angel's been kidnapped. He's down in the sewers. We should go and rescue him. Anybody know where Wolverine is? We could really use a tracker right about now. Like, nope, don't have Wolverine. And then Storm's like, oh, I'll talk to Professor Xavier psychically. Hey, you know that other tracker on the New Mutants? We could borrow her. And he's like, no. We're not taking any kids into dangerous battle. Take Kitty Pryde. All right. Good. That's another way to look at it. That's another perspective, Xavier. Another home run day for you.
So he's on speed dial for Storm, but not for Candy. Okay.
Correct.
Good to know.
Correct. Then they're like, and then, shout outs to Amanda yet again. She's like, I'll go along with you. I'm going to fight. And then in my head, I'm like, really? You've seen what these guys can do. The big metal suit guy, the lady that controls weather. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Flash him in your little purple robe. She's agrees to stay behind with Lockheed and protect Candy from, I don't know, stuff. So this is their big plan. We're going into the sewers, just 4 of us. Thoughts? You know what? Let's go to JR. The outfit, the Sprite outfit. How you feel about this?
That is just hideous. I mean, because she keeps changing, I think, her outfit colors. Like she can't make it up.
JP is right with you. Another random kitty outfit.
Because I think her normal one is like a dark blue or a baby blue with a dark blue accent.
Okay.
And this one, it's like green and orange, almost Oakland's colors, but not quite there. And I'm just looking at it going, dude, you clash with your dragon. At least match with the dragon.
That's a good point.
But I mean, just that's bad. But the whole team, I mean, the whole thing about Lockheed needs to stay back. No, I would take Lockheed to the sewers with me.
Take care of those dragon rats that just recently defeated an entire nest of monsters.
Like nothing.
That seems like a useful tool.
Portable light while you're in the sewers.
I did not even consider that fact, but well said. We got geeking out with Roscoe. I met Roscoe in Orlando recently. What is up, Roscoe? Good to see you, my man. This is great. Yeah. Why would Amanda know anything about dragons? Because she hangs out with sexy beasts with tails. She knows all about it.
Yeah, because we don't know at this time that she's what she is, right? They haven't announced it.
We do. We know she's got magic in her past, and I don't know if we know for sure exactly the abilities that she has or what she can do, but since that Doctor Strange annual, she was tied into a lot of that, and I feel like that kind of gave more of a glimpse that she's not just some regular human being.
Okay, I honestly did not remember that.
Bobby, I thought it was Excalibur.
Bobby, you're going to upset Magic Lasso. You're going to upset him. If we're crapping on that outfit and then you're saying she inspired it, your shots fired.
Dazzler pulled it off better.
There it was. See, now Rogueslaw is Ryan's best friend. Moving on, they go down into the sewers. They wear the little robes down there, and then they just throw them aside. We don't need the robes anymore. Somebody else will use them. We'll leave them here. And then, going along in there is very intense for Storm. This is a very, very narrow, confined space, deep underground. She finds it difficult to connect to her power when she's so removed from the natural elements of the outdoors. But they continue down deeper into the sort of bowels of the city through these sewers and the subway lines. And they're talking to Kitty and calling her Sprite. And she's like, I hate that name. It's a kid's name. It's not my name. Like, don't call me Sprite, which is like, okay, you just picked that name like just a little bit ago. Let's get some consistency as they come around a corner deep into the sewers or the subway line. Attack! Here come all of the Morlocks jumping in on them. Little surprise attack here, Justin. What are your thoughts on the way the team is functioning, these 4 together?
Yeah, it definitely seems a little clunky right now between the 4 of them. And I know there's a lot going on in terms of just the mystery of everything and being disconnected the further down they go in the sewers or whatever, so they can't talk to Professor X. I like that there's this scene here where as the one train's going by, Storm is like quickly reminded of some of her fears, being claustrophobic and in tight corners like that. I like that they sprinkle this throughout all the issues that we've kind of, covered, every third issue or whatever, but just as like a subtle reminder of like, things, even though she's the leader and is currently in charge of like the X-Men, she still has, certain things that she has to get through mentally, throughout the way. So I like how it was done. I like this close-up panel of her down here. Again, artwork was really great here for this one. Totally. And then the Morlocks, like, so I don't know who they are. I mean, I read this issue and like I know them from this. And aside from kind of the short talk of what JR just mentioned at the very beginning of the episode, I don't know much about the Morlocks, these characters, other than Callisto is the only one that I'm familiar with. So this is all like brand new.
But this would be new to you as a reader as well, because this is the launch of those characters. Yeah. So you're right at the ground floor where you need to be.
Right.
Now, JR, you and me, fans of the Massacre storyline that comes in another like 45 issues down the road here. This, for me, the best part of reading this issue for me was the flashbacks it gave me to that event. I don't know if that hit you the same way.
No, that did hit me the same way. To see them like before they're maimed, and to see before the minuscule amount of them that there is left. Yeah, because I believe I didn't look at the next issue. But either next issue or a couple issues down the road, we get to see how big the Morlocks are.
The tribe that
the tribe of Morlocks.
Yeah.
And to look at that and then to see like after Mutant Massacre, and you're going, wow, that's going on diet to the extreme there.
Yeah, they get slimmed pretty intensely.
But I was gonna say, I think I figured out Sprite's costume. She's trying to be a Sprite can.
There you go. Walking billboard.
Yeah. Lasso says this would have been a great time to start introducing her as Ariel, as that's the same costume that she was basically wearing in God Loves Man Kills, which came around the same time. So maybe they just continuity wise weren't necessarily nailing it. Yeah, Ariel, no better. It's no better.
No. I like Sprite as a name, actually.
And it sounds like, Candace, that your man is going to be Chet. He's going to drop some of the issues you need to read if you want to catch up on Candy Southern. So valuable. Appreciate you doing that, Chet. Chet says also she's a sorceress.
There you go.
Amanda Sefton is a sorceress.
Yeah, I knew she had like magic abilities.
There you go. So Candy Southern and Amanda Sefton. We could get information on all these awesome ladies. Don't want a fire-breathing dragon around the methane of a sewer.
Oh, come on. We can have fun with that.
A big fan of the OG Time Machine from the 60s. Loved that I laughed that these guys were being called Morlocks. And that reference does play out, right? What's up, Johnny Boy in the chat? What's going on, Johnny? All right, so let's get into the battle here. As they invade and start attacking, it's just chaos. It's just bedlam. It's just chaos. You've got Sprite, Kitty Pryde, punching some guy. She's like, I'm just gonna knock this guy down. Colossus is like, why are you this? You guys couldn't possibly hurt me. This is ridiculous. I'm just gonna throw these guys, toss them around. Then off to the side, you've got several of the mutants and Callisto, as we learn, the leader with the eye patch there, watching, trying to gauge their skills. Some of them are like, dude, these guys look like they could really hit. Like they're like, I know we're mutants and I guess they're mutants now, but I don't know that I like our odds versus them. Then they see Kitty Pryde. And one of them called, I think it's Plague, tries to grab her. And she morphs just in time. But him passing through her is just enough to have his powers of disease impact her as she escapes through a wall. And I'm going to continue just to here, but we can go back. The wall collapses. She gets away. Nightcrawler and our heroes, Storm does a little blast of wind. Nightcrawler knocks a few out. And the other remaining X-Men are left to kind of ponder what just happened, where did Sprite go, and some challenging leadership moments for Storm, where Peter's, of course, like, we got to go after her right now. Storm is like, no, we're going to follow the tracker and see if we can figure out what's going on with Angel, but we'll find her. She can take care of herself. So a little bit of disagreement among the group here in this sequence. So we'll go back to Justin. Thoughts on the fight, thoughts on the leadership disputes. What are your feelings here?
Yeah, so first, there's a couple of scenes with Colossus here that I love his action moments, and that's one of them when he's like throwing that guy and his body's like, swung the other way almost. You can see this guy flying. So I like the action scenes. this guy Plague, very interesting character. The ability that he has, very wicked in that way. I was curious how this is going to work since he didn't technically touch her, but we learned, a little bit along the way what happens there.
Sure.
Otherwise, though, I like that more of the different abilities, as you can see, Storm doing her thing. Although she does note that she struggles a little bit as she's in condensed areas.
Right.
So that's I like that they kind of shed light on some of that stuff just in terms of their abilities and where it might be a bit weaker. This other dude, Sunder, just like picks up this wall like it's nothing, trying to slam this thing down. Love the cross body that this one here that Nightcrawler is doing, kicking this one guy while pushing this other guy up against the wall. And then I was like definitely questioning the leadership with Storm. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more communication. I feel like that's always a thing, like especially a lot of the situations the X-Men deal with. But like for her to like not say anything, I know that she's like offended and upset that they're like, you don't care? Do you even care? We gotta go save Kitty. And like I like it. Kurt's like, oh, she didn't even say anything. Like, wow, what what's going through her head or whatever. I don't know. I just thought that this was like one moment where I kind of questioned Storm for a second, like in terms of what she's, her planning. She does make good points, and so don't get me wrong there, in terms of like, well, what are we going to do? We can't do this. We got to do this. The team's spread out. We can't go back for help now or else we lose others. So it is definitely a difficult situation overall. So maybe that's just how I took it.
JR, thoughts on the battle, thoughts on the dissension in the ranks?
So a couple things. So going with Justin's thing about the whole Storm and shit she done to me, it feels like Cyclops is actually in the issue for a sec. Because Colossus is his only other leader he's used to is Cyclops.
Right. Yeah.
And Cyclops would have went after Kitty.
You think?
Yeah.
I think Cyclops, that's just how he is. He's a Boy Scout. He's not going to leave anyone behind. And where Storm has got to show that she's a different leader, and she doesn't know what she's doing. She wasn't trained to be a leader.
Right.
So certainly it's an opportunity to see her make mistakes potentially, right?
Right. But then going back, if you go back one page real quick.
Absolutely.
I really like the shot up the top with Sunder and Plague and Callisto. And I'm
the faces, right?
Right. And I'm assuming that's Mask is the last one.
Yes, correct. It is.
I love that shot. And I love, I think it's Mask says in that same line.
Not like us, Sunder. They're pretty. Hate them. Want to hurt them.
That to me, because I know what they're like afterwards. You haven't seen it yet, Justin, but that line about them being pretty, not like us. That's the definition of the Morlocks.
Okay.
And I think that's just saying that and foreshadowing that.
Right.
Because look at every one of these Morlocks, you could see them.
Right.
They're not runway models.
Right.
They're not the people that can pass for normal humans, other than maybe Callisto, as far as you can tell right now.
Right.
Right.
And I love that foreshadowing of that there's something that's a little askew. They're Island of Misfit Toys almost.
Right.
But I do find funny when Sunder grabs the wall, and I think it's on the next page they point out, like, why are you gonna grab the wall? She's phased through your punch, idiot.
Yeah, I thought
the wall's not going to work either. Just like
not the brightest box.
No, he is not. No, he is definitely not.
Not the hottest.
Great points. Yeah, great points. Yeah, part of what I liked about the Morlocks was this rejects concept with them, and definitely hitting on that for sure right there.
Not the brightest color or crayon in the box.
Sorry. We got some fun things happening in the chat. Chet wants to remind everybody, if you want more Candy Southern, there's an annual apparently that Chet might want to recommend that people read.
I got to check that out.
Just thoughts.
I got to check that out.
Let's see here. Annual what? What annual? What? Nope, I don't know. Not saying anything is Cyclops leading. Shots fired. That one guy got a fastball special. He did. He got chucked like a fastball special.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah, very special opportunity.
Bobby says, what would Cyclops do? Candace says, what would Cyclops not do?
I'm glad I triggered some stuff.
The chat is on fire right now.
Definitely, Jackson. There are Mole Man vibes to this for sure.
Yes,
and you should ultimately, I think you should feel some sympathy or feel bad for the Morlocks. Absolutely. What's up, Perry in the chat? What's going on, my Orlando homie?
So one thing I have to bring up because it's right after these pages here.
You want me to go to the next slide?
I can go to the next slide. It's not in the slide because it's not in the omnibus. In the actual book.
Oh, let's blow you
look
up.
At the. Just got to show this ad here. Look how bad that ad is. You can't refuse this offer. I mean, it just you got to love it. Back in the day, some of the stuff they do.
The ads, right? The old school ads, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Chet says 2 years and counting. Justin, 2 years and counting. He's been waiting on you.
Well, if I had the book, I would read it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he doesn't have the book. So then Kitty is struggling through the sewers. She's feeling exhaustion. Somehow Plague's ability has impacted or infected her. She falls into that, I'm sure, amazing water. And out of nowhere, we get our man Caliban, who we haven't seen in a long time in the comics. But we do know had some affection for Kitty Pryde in the previous issues of Uncanny where we saw him. Still dressed amazing with a bright orange hat, a purple outfit, gray gloves, and a blue cape. Callisto nailing it. He rescues her. He says, I need to take care of her. He's worried about her, and he's going to ignore what the other Morlocks have told him and instead protect somebody that he cares about. Meanwhile, our remaining mutants find what appears to be a very high-tech giant tunnel under the ground here. This giant tube, it looks like, transports something. And as they move down, there are bright lights coming their way, and they see what appears to be something on the tracks ahead. And I'm going to go to the next slide, but we can go back and talk about it. We have the big reveal. Angel is tied to some kind of a wall. He's in his underwear. Awkward. And Callisto is basically holding court and waiting for the mutants to arrive. And she is cutting off what they call, if anybody has had a bird in their life, the pin feathers. These are very important feathers for birds that allow them to actually take to flight. And that's what you trim if you have a bird and you're trying to keep it from being able to fly away. But so she's trimming the pin feathers off of Angel, who appears to be unconscious. The mutants are like, what is going on? The second she starts cutting into him, our mutants spring into action. Thoughts here, Justin?
Yeah. So first of all, love that we get to see Caliban again.
Right.
I remember loving that. I think it was like 146 or 147 when we first met him, and that ended up being an issue that I really enjoyed overall. He is. I feel for the guy. He, clearly has some problems he's got to work through.
Sure.
But I root for him, and so. I kind of feel good that it's him that found her out of anyone else, because we know that at least they have a rapport to some degree, and clearly he cares about her, so that's good. Yeah. But the other thing is the artwork on that far panel of Storm and the light from the train, absolutely beautiful how that's done. I know we always look for the way lighting is worked into some of these comics and the shadows and stuff. I think that's really well done. Paul Smith, like I've more and more as we go through these issues, just become more and more of a fan. And then this whole thing with Callisto, like I only know Callisto. It's funny, I know her from the Hickman, like current stuff a little bit.
The where she appears in like the Marauders, and
So like I just know briefly a bit of the character and how she dresses and looks and everything from that. So this is definitely a new take for me. But yeah, curious to see. And I love how Colossus is just like she did such a thing out of love. I love the way their heads are drawn there, like the detail and all.
That's one of my favorite. That long slender panel is great.
Yeah, really cool.
JR, any thoughts on Caliban here or Callisto?
So first off, you would want a dragon now, wouldn't you? If you're a kid.
Yes.
Let's be real here. You'd like a dragon now, right? Okay.
Where's Lockheed now?
Yeah. I mean, he may not have made it through the walls, but he could have found her eventually.
He would have figured it out.
Yeah. That outfit though with Caliban, I want an action figure of that outfit. That outfit's so bad. I want an outfit.
So good, right?
They do make his action figure. I think they
with
do.
This outfit.
I don't know if it's with it. I know. I feel like I saw a Caliban.
There is a Caliban action figure.
There is one. Okay.
But on the next page, I want to know where they got that padded leather thing that he's pinned to. Was that from the Hellfire Club? Was that why we had the Hellfire Club?
Who sewed that together? Yeah, who did the stitching work on that?
The other thing that I find kind of interesting is that, again, going back to the Morlocks that are not pretty, that's their thing. Angel is arguably the pretty boy of the X-Men.
I mean, right?
So it makes perfect sense when you think about that they're going after Angel.
Like well, that's what she says. He's the most beautiful man in all the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I mean, it's that whole thing. But man, she in that picture where she's got the knife against his throat.
Yep.
And you just see the side profile of her. You realize how ugly they're making her look.
Right.
With the eye patch and the nose and everything.
Yep.
Though I will say, I think it would have had a better effect if they had him in his costume and had it ripped and pulled down, rather than having him in this diaper.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes me go like, okay, who dressed him?
Somebody had to, right?
Yeah. And they
unless that's what he secretly wears under his pants, but we just don't know that.
Well, but then the cover should have been him in a diaper.
I mean, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Some great comments here in the chat about Caliban's pimp outfit. No cane, just and it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Yes, the last time we saw him was in the Disco Dazzler storyline. Some people are mentioning it as 148. So there you go. For those in the chat that need to know that. Just a reminder: being pretty is a full-time job. #Angel knows. The OG Victoria's Secret Angel is right there. There he is, Angel.
Nice.
We got Desired Comics. Nigel's in the chat.
Nigel. Birthday boy.
Is it his birthday?
Yesterday, I think, right?
Yesterday, I think.
Yeah. Nice. Happy birthday, Nigel.
Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, that little panel is the three of them. Hello. There you go. Spikes are through his wings, but at least he's got pillows for his knees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
well, he has no legs.
So consideration. Yeah.
Like ankles and stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's the Cupid diaper, right? He's a Cupid. He's a Cupid angel. There you go. Okay, move on to X-Men attack, Marauders or Morlocks attack. Everybody's fighting. Storm is like, I got this. She flies into the air. I'm gonna do this crazy thing. It's like, wham. She gets hit by a slingshot right to the head. Her headpiece goes flying off. She's down. Colossus is like, look, like, I don't want to hurt any of you guys. And then he's like, I could crush any of you guys. I'm really trying to hold my punches here. But then they swarm him. He's getting kind of like overwhelmed. He can't figure out, how do I fix this? How do I get out of this? And we cut away. Because now we're going to go back to Caliban trying to take care of Kitty. She's waking up. It's very, Phantom of the Opera-esque, I guess. She's been taken away to some secret lair. There's a weird cracked mirror, but there's a really elegant bed. She wakes up. Now she's in not a nightgown, I guess, kind of a nightgown. Caliban's there. He's trying to help her. He knows that she's getting ill and that he's going to have to take her to the Morlocks and convince Plague to heal her if she has any hope of surviving. And that's where the issue ends. Thoughts here, JR, on how this finishes out?
I love the fact that Callisto is able to hit Storm when she's like ramping up her powers. Okay. I'm just going like, really? Come on. She's about to start the wind going and everything, but whatever. But the fact that Colossus is like, you need like another 60. Come on, let's go. Jump on me because I'm not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna hurt me. I kind of feel ew with Caliban though, because somebody changed her. He put her in that bed. Someone changed her.
Oh yeah, I thought about that. Yeah.
There's only one. It's not a someone. We didn't. It's the one.
Yeah,
he doesn't have like an assistant or anything.
That's kind of a Stranger Danger thing. She's like 14.
Yeah,
it's the second time we've questioned who changed somebody's outfit in this issue, right?
Yeah, and I keep bringing it up. I hate to bring it up. It's just you're scaring me here.
It's just like when Wolverine killed that guy, stripped him, and put on his outfit.
Yeah,
that happened. That happened. I'm going to take your clothes. Part of me winning in battle is I get your outfit now.
But I mean, the one nice thing is as Caliban's story with Kitty evolves over time, you realize that he's got a good heart.
Yep.
And it's nothing malice. It's nothing crude.
Right.
Yep.
He's honestly trying to take care of her.
Yeah.
But sure as hell looks really bad from the start.
No, not good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anybody who are fans of the movie Logan know that that's the same character, right? The one that's sort of helping take care of Old Man Logan and Charles Xavier in that film. That's Caliban. I know sometimes the movie stuff doesn't quite look like the comics, but
when you said that when we broke down 148, that was the first time I realized the connection between those characters. When you mentioned that, I thought that was
really and he has the big hat. If you want, he's got the big hat.
Yeah. I think now that I think back to it, I think it was pretty accurate. Pretty
right.
And he's got some major stuff coming up too.
Definitely.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool.
Chet Scotland wants me to highlight this, but that's a lot of yelling. We don't condone screaming at Justin because it's been almost 4 years since we don't need that.
Yeah. Plus, you're covering up JR. That's not.
No, it's not.
Nice.
It's not okay.
Did you give him it? I didn't see you give it to him at 21. I think I was there that year.
Baltimore Comic-Con 2021.
Yeah.
Yes, Caliban taking Colossus's place as being the most inappropriate with Kitty Pryde. Acceptable. Justin, thoughts here on how this finishes out?
Yeah, so love the action scenes. The pose that Colossus is doing on that middle panel where he's like
lifting that guy up.
Yeah, lifting the guy up. I thought that was so cool. And then after that being tackled, it's like zombies almost, like the way that the arms are coming across, like tackling them. It is interesting to think that Storm is this Omega level mutant, dominant with the weather. And then gets like thrown off by this little pebble. Like if you write it out that way. Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah.
Defeated by a slingshot.
But definitely. Like I was saying before, like I overall feel comfortable that Kitty was found by Caliban as opposed to like one of the other creeps or someone else that we don't know. At least we know Caliban. We know that he's had that connection in the past. And while it might be a little unhealthy overall, it's still like we know at least he cares. And as JR said, like he means well. And he's met the whole X-Men team. So like they know who he is. They've tried to kind of help him out a little bit. I think they were the ones that like guided him down into the sewers to begin with. I was like, oh man, this ends like that. I was wondering like how this is going to end. Cause I'm like, I thought we were going to get like a definitive ending to Callisto and the rest of the, these guys, but clearly there's a lot more to go. So I'm curious. Where it goes from here.
Yeah, that's my main frustration with the book is that it just not a ton happens. It's just a lot of setup, but it's fun setup. It's solid setup. And so the ending here, just when it's getting exciting, we cut away. Just when we see the stakes of what's going on, we end. So it's a classic comic from the Claremont-era as far as the beginning of a storyline. You're going to get a gnarly cliffhanger and just have to deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's Justin, we do final thoughts now, right? Not later.
Yeah, we could throw it in.
Yeah. Okay, so
John's still on the Comic-Con brain. He's got.
I am. No, actually, I'm going to save it just because you said that.
All right.
Let's get on to the facts here. A 9.8 of this book, fair market value is $220. 9.6 is $75. That's a steep drop. But maybe it's because of the black cover and I don't know what else. But first appearance wise, you get the Morlocks, Mask, Plague, Sunder, and Callisto. We get the return of Caliban, like we mentioned earlier, from issue 148. Kurt has the third ruined date with Amanda, which I guess we might have realized might have been the fourth. And Angel is unconscious the entire time. Therefore, it's one of his better appearances, I think. Really top-notch work there, Angel. Like, I knew I was going to get JR on that one, shaking the head. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah. Hey, JP, mock me all you want. We are under an hour right now, and we're just getting to the wrap up. So, who's your boy? Who's your boy? Any thoughts on the value of the book or the key elements of this book? JR, I'll throw it to you because obviously you and I, there's some significance here.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, as I say, the road to stuff. This is the road to Morlock Massacre. Starts right here. This book, I'm actually kind of surprised Callisto's first appearance is not worth a little more. But I mean, I get it. It's no one really cares about Mask, Plague, Sunder. It's no one else's first appearance. Nothing major happens in this issue.
Right.
I mean, maybe. Well, we got some pin feathers taken out of Angel.
Right.
That's about it.
Right. which obviously is another like string to connect to the Massacre storyline as well, right?
Yeah. I think other than I think it probably should be worth probably an extra like $50-$60.
Sure.
Just because of that.
I got my logo in the way here. I just realized my logo is blocking for people.
9.8 is worth of John's comment.
It's worth it. That's a lot. It's expensive.
I could see it being worth like a maybe $280, $290, somewhere in there. But maybe it's the rat on the cover that no one likes, and that's why if they took that pipe and the rat off the cover, maybe that would key it up a little higher.
Maybe. Or maybe if he was in his diaper, you never know, right?
Yeah, I mean, or if they did his legs right. I mean, it looked like they called Rob Liefeld.
Really strange. Yeah,
his legs.
Really strange.
That's a good
Bobby says it ends that way. Yeah, that's the way it ends. That's the way it ends. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of Claremont stuff at that time.
That's first appearance of Master Splinter. Yeah, he's right there. Look at him.
Yeah.
Pre-ooze. William Bird says, frustrating as a kid, the issue ended like this. Never knew for sure the next issue would be available on the local spinner racks. Distribution was iffy in his area at that time.
That's an interesting. Yeah, wouldn't have considered that.
Justin, thoughts on this book and the value?
Yeah, so I think, well, first of all, don't forget key element. This is first appearance of Candy Sutherland in full outfit. The other thing, so I don't think I would ever want this book graded. I think that I would much rather. I mean,
the raw.
I would, want the raw. I mean, again, I know the cover is not really that much of a thing for me. I also am not as attached to some of these characters, so I could understand though, JR, as you're mentioning that this character is very important to you. It being you would expect it to be more in terms of a 9.8 in that regard. But I think overall, I just enjoyed reading this issue, and I think that the artwork on the inside is much more where I'd rather be with it. But I guess that's not bad. 220 for a character like this, and multiple characters technically. So
right
for a 9.8. But if I were to have to buy one, I'd probably still just go 9.6 because it's all the same. So
well said, sir. Well said.
Yeah.
So that wraps this up. Let's get into final thoughts and scores and grades for this issue. So I'll let Justin kick it off here. Where would you rank this one?
Yeah, so I have to say, going into this issue or going into tonight, after I've read it twice, I feel like I was ranking it around a 7 because of some of the randomness that it has, some of the the fact that we don't get like the end story, it's leaves us hanging. And yes, there are some questionable other parts that we kind of discussed already. As we talked more about it, I actually liked it more, and I think. Going back and talking a little bit about, again, just the little glimpses of what's going on. One thing we forgot to mention, by the way, Nightcrawler catching a cold after being bamfed out of the window, being in the freezing cold and all this other stuff, like making that somewhat relevant. Those little bits I appreciate. Seeing some of these other characters like Amanda come in, Candy being more involved, that whole horror introduction, the more we talked about it and everything, like that was really well done and very different from what we've covered so far, I think.
Sure.
For introductions. So I just started to enjoy this even more so. So I think that between that and the artwork that I talked about, this pushes it closer to an 8, maybe 7.5, I'll say, to play it that way.
All right. Thank you for those of you dropping in the chat. I will read yours in just a second, but let's get to our man JR here. How would you grade overall this one issue?
So one thing I would change a little bit on the cover, I put Angels Enough Said issue. I definitely put that in there. But overall, going back and reading the issue, if I would have read it without knowing what's coming down the road, I'd probably give it closer to a 6.5. Because it's just there's a lot there, but it's like a salad burrito. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's like a veggie burrito. There's no meat, there's no beans, there's nothing good in there. There's just a lot of filler.
Love that analogy. So good.
But I mean that's what it is.
It is, yeah.
Now, if you know the stuff, then it's like, okay, I'll put a few beans in there. You got a little more, but it's really kind of a lower end book, like a 6.5.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's jump in. For me, I'm in the same range. 7.0 seems about where I landed on it overall. The cover definitely takes it down a little for me. Some of the random side stuff too, and then of course, as much as I love seeing the Morlocks and seeing some of that world for the first time, not enough of it. I wanted more of it. The bits that we got were good. I just wanted more, and maybe that's what we'll get next time around. Lasso says hadn't read it in a long time. It's an 8.5 for him on this reread. Bobby on the other end, down close to where JR was, 6.5 for him. Candace is agreeing. Doesn't like the cover, like Chet mentioned. Chet gives it a 7.0. Old Wolf is in the chat. I'm missing you, man. I used to go around the hall and just see you around the hall. It's been a while. It's good to see you, man. Nightcrawler, I agree. Candace had some of the best parts for me. Great point. I felt the same way about it. I was so pumped while reading this, and then bam, it's over. I feel you. Fair. Right. So there you go. That's about where I would score it. And it seems like most of the chat is in that same range, somewhere 8.5 to 6.5, somewhere in that range there.
Nice.
So huge thank you to JR for joining us, man. And
thanks for having me.
Like I said, the link to his Instagram is down below. And now you in the chat, you got to play to JR. We are to the question trivia end of the show here. And what's going to happen is I got 2 questions and Justin's got 2 questions about the last issue we read, 168. If you didn't read the issue, don't worry. You can answer a funny answer. And if JR likes your funny answer, you can get a point just for that. Each question, we're going to get 2 correct. The first 2 correct answers get on the list. And the JR's favorite answer gets on the list. So
don't bother, Chet. They're going to get one of the right answers anyway, so don't bother.
Chet never bothers. He just ends up winning it because he mistypes them.
So that means there's 12 tickets onto the wheel going to be offered up tonight. And Justin's going to lead us off.
Yeah. So my first question, what game was Xavier and Kitty Pryde playing when she was trying to prove that she could be part of the X-Men team? Last issue, there were several scenes where Kitty Pryde was trying to win Professor X over and show that she was a proven team member and should be part of the X-Men. What was the game in that first panel? What were they playing?
Old Wolf says he had a case of the Chets. Must have been a spelling problem. It hits us all.
A case of the Chets.
I had a case of the Chets. I think we got our first 2 correct answers.
I see them, yeah.
Oops, sorry. You were correct, Candace, but somehow this guy spelled it right. I guess it's a 5-letter word, so it wasn't super challenging.
Yeah.
Wow. So I got Chet.
Wait, does Chet have both S's? Double check. Okay,
he
wow.
Does, yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. And it wasn't cheese. I was worried it might have been cheese. Chess as the correct answer. Let's talk about some of the funny answers. We got Ryan saying they're playing Leapfrog, which with Professor X, I know he got his leg back. Still seems like a stretch to me. Still seems.
Look at Albert's.
We got JP saying Shoots and Ladders. Classic kid fun. Peekaboo. He looks like a bald baby, right? Peekaboo. I get it. Red Rover. I get it. Albert's going more modern. Dance Dance Revolution, which
nice.
I want to see a Professor X do this now. They were playing paper, rock, scissors. Get them in the right order, Bobby. Come on.
I'm all thrown off now.
Why are we throwing paper at the beginning of this shenanigans? I'm just counting you right there. You almost spelled your own name. Well, I mean, I'm proud of you. Kitty was playing chess. Professor X was playing sorry. That's funny. That's funny. Naked Twister. Get out of here. Get this guy out of here. This is a fact, Bobby. They were playing mind games. Both of them manipulating each other.
Good call.
Wheelchair Twister. That sounds really difficult.
Yeah.
All right. JR, did you have a favorite funny answer in there anywhere?
I liked Old's first answer. Was it the something of Chet's?
He said, yeah. The very beginning.
Case of the Chets?
I had a case of the Chets.
Yeah.
There it is. Tony.
I figure that's like a clue game.
Yeah.
JP said, leave me on the team or my dragon will set you on fire.
That's a good game to play.
I like that game.
That's called blackmail.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. My first question is Nightcrawler met up with his lady Amanda Sefton and imitated, as we talked a lot about last time, a famous actor. Which famous actor did Nightcrawler imitate? Shout out to Candace, our guest, for actually going and looking it up after we'd finished the show. So she might be quick to answer on this one. Which actor did he imitate? Candace she got it. She got it. Shout out to Candace, but Old Wolf beat you just barely, just by a smidgen. So I got Old Wolf for the point, and I got Candace with the point. And I hope that photo isn't burned into your brain too badly, Candace. Many apologies. Many apologies. So we're looking for a funny answer for what actor Nightcrawler might imitate to win over Amanda Sefton. What? I mean, obviously Burt Reynolds is a winner across the board, but who else? Turd Ferguson. I don't know who that is. That's entertaining.
Oh, come on, that was from Norm. That was when Norm.
Was it?
It was when Norm was on Saturday Night Live, and he was playing.
He played Turd Ferguson.
Yeah,
he played Burt Reynolds, and
he played Burt Reynolds.
Ferguson.
Yeah, and he wrote that as an answer.
Deep cut, William Byrd. Nicely done.
Yeah, nicely done.
A blue Deadpool. He's doing an impression of a blue Deadpool. I mean, that's funny because Tony's realizing that there is a movie poster for Deadpool 2 where he is doing the Burt Reynolds. He's laying on the carpet and doing the Burt Reynolds. So shout out there.
That's true.
Albert says Chuck Norris. He is imitating Chuck Norris. Impresses the ladies. If this was Lasso, then yeah, Billy D. Williams to the Diana Ross of Amanda Sefton. I like this. I like this. Did you hear what happened in Toronto? We got snow. All right. Good to know, Mark. Good, Mark. Thanks, Lasso. Bobby Delgado going a little over the line, and I can't blame you for that one.
This is a family show, right?
I can't bet Arturo Ferguson. I can't beat. I think Turd Ferguson is what JP. Wow, talking about a case of the Jets. There it was. Pedro Pascal. There you go.
Nice. Oh, it's like though.
Nice.
Why is it for you two and not me? I'm a Star Wars fan.
See,
I mean, I'm probably bigger than both of them.
Definitely.
At least wider.
Bigger.
She's referring to The Last of Us.
Still haven't watched it.
What?
Me neither.
Oh my god. What? Oh,
so
I watched one.
There's a reason. There's a reason behind it. The reason I haven't watched it yet is I've got other stuff I've got to catch up, and I'm using it as the hook or the
icing,
the carrot,
the dessert,
the carrot to get me to read to watch the other stuff first.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is funny because Costanza on the couch in his underwear. Very funny.
Oh,
same thing. The Costanza. Well played.
Where's the Stan Lee one?
Yes, Stan Lee did a similar thing too.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, JR, did you have a favorite in there?
Let's scroll back up a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
So we go to one of the earlier ones.
Let's see. We had Turd and we had Norris.
I think I'm gonna go with Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson. William
Nice.
Byrd.
Yeah, just because I like to call what it's referring to.
Yeah, that was definitely a deeper answer. That's well done.
I appreciated it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've only watched one episode of Last of Us because I'm really burnt out on post-apocalyptic stuff. People are like, but it's the best one yet. I don't care. I don't need more of it right now. I need a break from. I'm living the apocalypse. I don't need to like more. So I need a break from it. All right, Justin. Last question.
Yes, my second question is, what does Scott hand to Lee Forrester when he steps in and surprises her with a visit? Last scene, there was another.
This could go a lot of ways with our chat.
Kind of mixed side story where Scott goes off to visit Lee Forrester, and he sneaks up and hands her something as a way to surprise her that he's there visiting her. Right. What was the item that he was handing her?
JP just dropped an emoji. I'm not going to click on it, but it might be a good solid answer. There. However, correct answers
vegetables were not the correct.
And it's Old Wolf and Chet-Eye Knight with the wrench as the correct answer. It was the wrench in the observatory.
There you go. Yes.
He handed her his dignity.
Did he have any?
He gives that to a lot of women, it seems like. Yeah. Flashlight, says Magic Lasso. A sandwich, says Tony.
There you go.
Isn't that what she's supposed to give him?
It's true. What is up, Signature King? Good to see you in the chat. And somebody asked earlier if we like Jeff Lemire, and Jeff Lemire's awesome. What?
Heck yeah. Yeah, he's a problem child. You'll have to kick him off soon, John.
Yeah, I'm totally anti.
We've been going at it.
I tried to bring people to the dark side and get them to understand Lemire's bad, but
I do the same thing for Scott Snyder.
It depends on what Snyder's writing.
I would say anything.
See, I don't agree
Court
with
of Owls is
anything.
one thing I will give him, but everything after it in his Batman run is just Drek. It is absolutely
his Batman run after that was not great.
It came off
and I'm
line.
ignoring you, Justin. I don't care.
It's a beauty. It's a beauty.
That book made no sense at the end.
I got this.
I read
for
that whole
$1.
run.
Got this for
$1.
because
no one
I
wants
love
it.
that series. I love that series. So you won't get me on it. A frozen Rachel dinner is what he gave her. Glenn, what's going on? Glenn, good to see you.
What's up, Glenn?
What's up, Glenn?
Mark Souza says you should dress up as Cocaine Bear for his kid's birthday. Not a good call. Not a good look. Not a good look. Let's see. I think that was all the funny answers we got. Was there a good one that you liked in there, JR? I know we derailed there a little bit.
Yeah, I think we have to go back to the top.
I know you liked the dignity. I know you like dignity.
I was hoping for anyone to just go his and then blank. And if you would give
JP said vegetables.
I mean, I basically JP said vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, give him vegetables. I mean, but I was hoping someone would just go like his blank and not refer to the organ, like because it's Cyclops. You give him a dog bone, he'll follow you for the rest of your life. I mean, that's how he is. I mean, he scares me.
Last question of the night. This is one where all three answers have to be funny. All three answers, and JR is gonna pick the one that he thinks is funniest, and then Justin will pick one, and I'll pick one. They all have to have two pieces: the correct word I'm looking for, and then your funny answer. So it's got to be in one post, one comment. No 3 posts. Chat. One post. I'm looking for the word that Kitty Pryde called Professor X, and a word that you would pick that's better. So 2 words got to be given. What did Kitty Pryde call Professor X, and what would you call him instead?
It's a good combo question here.
Trying something new tonight. Trying push us in a new direction.
Yeah. We're growing. The channel's growing, you know.
I almost want to know your guys' answer on those.
Ooh.
I'll have to think here.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the word is, so.
Oh, come on.
JP's got his answer in.
Okay.
Yes, the correct word is jerk. She called him a jerk. Professor X is a jerk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
JP says asshat. Simple, straightforward. Lasso says baldy. Shots fired. Professor. Jerk. So you can't even do it in one. I said, chat, come on, follow the rules, man. Follow the rules. Jeez. Jerk and Professor Baldo. Albert went deep. He says jerk and then a slur of some kind.
So jerk and soda cracker.
A slur. Jerk and Mr. Clean. Lots of ball jokes. Jerk and poop head. Did I pass you, old wolf? You wrote thank you. That's all I see. Now, it's possible that you said something so foul in the chat that it won't appear in StreamYard, that StreamYard blocked you. It's possible.
I hope William's in the chat still. That what you just said there, John, I'm going to clip that later. You saying you wrote thank you. That was more of Norm playing as Burt Reynolds and doing the Turd Ferguson. JR, have you seen that scene from Saturday Night Live? Have you ever seen that scene?
The third one,
Norm has a big cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
He's like chewing gum. He's talking.
Yeah.
That reminded me. That's Sean Connery. It was the other guy.
Right.
So good.
Lasso says jerk and chicken because jerk chicken. Get it? I see you. Crazy. CGC song too crazy. What's going on, man?
Hey.
Jerk and crippled cork soaker. I don't even know what that means. Seems intense. I
don't want to visualize that.
That's from Saturday Night Live too. Is the cork soaking scene? Have you guys seen that?
See, I gotta catch back up on this.
Oh my god.
My favorite is going right here. I'm picking JP with jerk and perv. Done.
Yeah, makes sense.
JP, I'm giving you the point there, and I'm going to be on JP's channel with Justin here in just a little bit. Justin, did you have a favorite that you liked that had a correct answer and anything else?
I'm going with chat with the crippled cork soaker.
All right, there you go. So somehow we're still giving points to Chet, even though he wrote jerk and then did not write anything else after it.
He came back.
He did. I'm going to go back up to the top, JR. You tell me where
Okay.
you want me to stop here. All right. Got to go back up a way. The first one was JP dropped a bunch. He dropped a bunch.
Yeah.
And we got Baldy. And we got Professor Baldo. We got racial slur. We got Mr. Clean. We got Poop Head. We got
that one too.
Jerk Chicken. I did Poop Head. Yes, I did that one. We had Old Mutant. We did Creeper. Hairless Bastard.
Okay, Candace just put a good one up.
Jerk
Bald
Bald Creeper.
There you go.
I'm not going to do that one, Old Wolf.
He is a creeper.
SNL Reject. All right, any of those, JR, that you like?
The last one Candace put up.
Candace.
Bald Creeper.
There you go, folks. Creeper. So there you go. A bunch of new additions to our raffle giveaway.
Nice.
JR, thanks, man, for hanging out with us for an hour and a half. And
yeah, dude,
just having
it's always fun. You guys know I always show
it.
for you guys.
Absolutely.
And we will definitely get you on when we get around to that Marauders Mutant Morlock Massacre storyline.
Me over Chet.
Well, absolutely. Every day.
That's
or you can put both of us on and then you got trouble.
Well, that would be really dangerous.
No.
We try to pick people who can spell. We start with that.
They're gonna
they'll shut down.
They'll shut down.
That's why you would get ahead of Chet.
Yeah, that's why you would get ahead of Chet.
So if anybody wants to follow these gentlemen, of course, their links are down below, but you really need to be following Justin too if you want to catch next week's show. We're going to be talking about issue 170 and asking questions about what you just saw here for 169. So you already have an advantage. You know what happened in the story. You're all caught up. So just be over there and get yourself on the wheel if you have that speedy Chet and Old Wolf internet going.
Yep, easy.
That's it for us for tonight, folks. We'll be back in a week over on Justin's channel. And if you want to talk about Philadelphia over on JP Budget Collecting's channel, we'll be there in just about 8 minutes. So make sure you head yourself over there. Yep. All right, gang. That's it. See y'all later.
Later.